Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? It's Lisa, letting my heart take the lead. Thank you for tuning in to my second edition of What Has Sold on eBay. I know it's been a little bit since I put out my first one, but I've got several things to go over today, so I'm excited. And like last time, if all goes well, right up in here should be a picture of the item and what it sold for. So, if you're new here, welcome. I am a full-time nurse and a part-time eBay reseller. And, yeah, if you like this kind of content with hauls and what solds, well, I'd love to have you. And to those that are regulars, welcome back and thank you. I appreciate all of you. So, like I said, I've got quite a bit here because it's been a month since I made the last one. So, here we go. Off and running. So the first item that I have is a vintage collectible ginger tin. It was a crystallized ginger tin. It was rectangle, yellow. I think it said like Imperial brand or something like that. Had a little hinged lid on it. And it was funny because I had this guy message me and he said, would this tin work to carry in my truck to put like, little nuts, bolts, tools, stuff like that in it, does the lid close tightly on it? Well, it closed good and everything, but if you had a bunch of heavy metal wrenches, small wrenches or ratchet, the snap-on things, yeah, I'm not getting good with that. But anyhow, rolling around in that, I couldn't guarantee that lid would stay closed. So I sent him a message back and I'm like, I just can't tell you that this would be a good choice for you. So anyway, he messaged me back and he's like, thank you for your honesty. And so I'm like, I just lost out on a sale, but then turned around, somebody else bought it. I didn't have, it was a free item from my cousin, so I didn't have anything into it, but it sold for $7. Buyer paid $5.40 in shipping and handling. So that was profit. Number two was I bought these little Native American Sagebrush kids. It's a series. Gregory, Perillo, I think, was the artist. I bought them at an auction. I bought several of them. So there was one that was in a little canoe. It was called Row Row. And that's the one that sold. It was from 1987. It was porcelain. Sold for $18.99 and the buyer paid $9.85 shipping and handling. And like I said, I got that at an auction and I had I think about $1.50 to $2 in them. So I'm just going to say $2 in them. Ellie's nosing around. I don't know what she's into. Number three is a set of 3 hand-painted mid-century modern ceramic Christmas ornaments. There was Santa and a snow couple. These sold for $10.99 and buyer paid $5.25 in shipping. And those were free. Those were some ornaments that I got from my cousin. So those didn't have anything in them. Number 4 was a Rival Crockpot Slow Cooker Cookbook. It sold for $5. Buyer paid $4.45 in media mail shipping, and that was also free. That was also from my cousin. Number 5 was a 2000 Hallmark Christmas ornament. It was the 1935 vintage Auburn Speedster. It was their Roadster series, I believe. But anyhow, I sold it for $4.50. Buyer paid $5.95 shipping and handling, and that was a free item also. Number 6 was a Disney Junior. I never know how to say this. I want it Vampirina. Vampirina Fantastic Friends 10-piece toy set. It was new in the box. I picked this up at Goodwill for $4.99. It sold for $16 and buyer paid $12.65 in shipping. It was cute, real cute. Number 7 was a vintage Apothecary brown Glycerin bottle. It said Callahana's Drugs in Canton, Illinois. It sold for $15. Buyer paid $5.10 in shipping, and I got that at an auction and give $1 for it. Next up is vintage 1960s to 70s magnetic oven mitt. It had all the big bright retro flowers on it. It was new with the tag from Woolworth and sold for $7.50. Buyer paid $5.25 shipping and handling. I got this at an auction in with a whole big tote of linens. Had all kinds of stuff in it. And I give $6 for the whole lot. So, you know, I don't know what I really had into it in the grand scheme of things, but not much. Number 9 is vintage 1998 Schleich, I don't know, Germany. Rooster and hen farm animals. This line you see a lot in the farm and home stores that you go into. They have the plastic farm animals, all the different, animals. These were my son's favorite thing when he was little. Every time we went into the farm and home store, he had to pick out a new animal. These were not his animals, but I got these in an auction lot. So I probably had about $1 into them. They sold for $8. The buyer paid $5.15. Ellie Mae? No. Nope, get down. She waits until she knows I'm busy, and then that's when she tries her stunts. She's something, let me tell you. It's just like having a kid in the house again. Just like it. Number 10. You heard me. Nope. Get down. Nope, that's mine. She's like, well, all right. Okay, number 10. Vintage Bristol Myers Mum Deodorant. It was a little milk glass container with a metal lid. I don't know how this happened because I don't ever list anything for 99 cents, but somehow this sold for 99 cents, and the buyer paid $5.30 shipping. I think I got this in a lot of stuff, so I doubt if I lost money on it, but I definitely didn't make anything on it. It was a definite wash. So, not real sure how that snuck by. Number 11 is a Lori Michell Easter Bunny girl with a bouquet, holding a bouquet of flowers. She sold for $22.99. Buyer paid $11.75 in shipping. And I got this at an auction. And I believe I probably had about, I would say $5 into it. The next thing is a Walgreens digital manual blood pressure monitor. It was new in the box. I got this stuff from an auction too. You know how you buy a flat of stuff for something and all this other stuff comes in with it, you know, that you really don't want. This was one of those things. But I decided to go ahead and list it. I figured I had probably 50 cents into it. It sold for $11 and the buyer paid $7.95 shipping and handling. It was old. It was an older model, but it was brand new. I mean, you could tell clearly when you opened it up that nobody had used it. So, yeah. The next thing is I think it's Buclilla. Christmas Heirloom Counted Cross Stitch Stocking Kit. So I sold this for $15.50. Buyer paid $5.85 shipping and handling. And that was a free item from my cousin. Number 14 is a $19.99 Hallmark Christmas ornament. It was called Minnie. Trims the tree. It was really cute. It sold for $6. Buyer paid $5.40 in shipping. And I got that for $1. I believe that I got that at auction. Next up is vintage 1950s. It was a plastic banjo, like ukulele. It was plastic. It was in a box. It had the little booklet with it. I forget the brand of it. I can't remember. But anyway, this was a free item. Again, never pass up free. Sold for $100. And the buyer paid $43.90 in shipping and handling. That was a good sale. Never pass up free. Never. Okay, next up is a Traverse 30-ounce Dragonfly Mandela metal tumbler. Had a flip-top lid on it. Sold for $19. Buyer paid $7.64 shipping. And that was a insulated cup that I had that was up in my cabinet. That I have several of these. I never used this one because I didn't think it was big enough, even though it's 30 ounces. I've got a couple that are bigger, and those are the ones that I take to work with me. And so this one was just sitting up there, and so I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of it. So that was one I got rid of out of my cabinet to make some room. Number 17 is a vintage 1996 Enesco Memories of Yesterday. It was called Forget Me Not. It's a porcelain figurine. I bought several of these at an auction, and they give $1 a piece for them. They are so adorable. I love them. I've had a hard time getting rid of a couple of them because they're so cute. But I've been listing on them, and they've been selling. So I had $1 into it. This one sold for $12. Buyer paid $9.90 shipping and handling. Now, next up is another one of those, UNESCO Memories of Yesterday. It's called Loving Each Other is the Nicest Thing We've Got. And it sold for $18.50. Buyer paid $11.75 in shipping. And again, I had $1 into that from an auction. Next up is a vintage, and I know this is something from West Germany. It was a cat and rooster coffee mug. Wachterbach? I'm probably butchering this stuff. This was so cute. It's like, it screamed, to me, it did, like 60s and 70s, but it probably was older than that. I don't know. But anyway, I got this at the Goodwill outlet bins. I probably give 25 cents to 50 cents for it. It sold for $11. Buyer paid $9.85 shipping, and it was adorable. Next up is another Sagebrush Kids. It was 1988, and then I think, if I remember right, there was 2 ornaments. One, the little boy was holding a puppy, and then the other one, a lamb maybe. But anyhow, the buyer bought 2 different ones. One was the 1988 and one was the 1990. They were made like little ornaments, Christmas ornaments. She paid a total of $23 for both of them and $11.80 in shipping and handling. So I had $4 into those at $2 a piece. And that's what I was rounding up to, was $2 a piece. The next up is a wooden inlay box. It was real cute. It was I can't remember what this what the brand of it was either. Maybe something Madeira. I can't remember. But anyhow, it was like a little trinket or jewelry box. Had, you know, it was lidded, had a little lid to it. Sold it for $10. Buyer paid $10.21 in shipping. And I have been racking my brain trying to remember where I got this from. And I cannot, for the life of me, remember. I'm thinking it was probably Goodwill or the bins. So I would say I had a couple dollars into it. I'm not real sure because I can't remember. Next up, this was so cute, and I made sure I put in the title and in the description both. This is little. It was a little bitty wooden bowl, and it had all these little apples, red and green wooden apples in it. I got that at the Goodwill outlet bin, so 25 cents maybe. It sold within like a couple days of being listed. It sold for $15.99 and buyer paid $5.90 shipping. So that was a good one. Next up is a vintage Anarco March Angel coffee cup mug. It had a little, and it was March. It had a little angel on it. It had shamrocks on it, I think, and, you know, just looks St. Patrick Day-ish. Now, I got this at the Goodwill outlet bins, and so I probably had 25 cents, 50 cents in it. It had a lot of flea bites on it, a lot of flea bites. And you know, I made sure I put that in my description. I was like, you know, this has really is chipped up. It's got a lot of little flea bites all over it. I listed all of it. But the lady that purchased it, she was just thrilled that I had got it and hadn't let it been broken at the bins. And so it was good. But anyway, I had 25 cents probably into it. It sold for $18. Buyer paid $9.10 shipping and handling. Next up is a 1992 vintage Enesco porcelain figurine. It was Memories of Yesterday. This was like an anniversary piece. It was called 5 Years of Memories. And if I remember right, it was, I think, a little girl sitting in front of an easel, maybe. But I paid buyer paid $15 for it and $11.75 in shipping and handling. And I had $1 into that at the auction. Next up is a Special Friends Bathtub Buddies. It was a second edition, 1998. These are so cute, but I cannot figure out what is the big deal about these things. But I'm so glad that I bought them at the auction, because these have done really well for me. I give $6 for this at the auction. Sold for $220, and I did offer free shipping on this. So it did cost me $40 to ship it to the buyer. So I was still, you know, up, $174 after I take the $6 out of it. And of course, eBay dips their little fingers in there too. So, but anyway, that was excellent. And I haven't figured out, like I said, I bought like 5 or 6 of these, and the most that I give for one was, I give $10 for one of them. But luckily I had looked it up, comped it out, and seen where they were selling so high, so I knew to get them. But yeah, these are, and they're just made out of resin. They're not porcelain, they're not ceramic. It's just a resin figurine, but they are really cute. So yeah, that was exciting. Next up is a 2000 Hallmark Christmas ornament. It was a Twilight Angel. It was out of the Madame Alexander collection. Buyer paid $7 and paid $5.20 in shipping and handling. I was $1 into that in an auction lot that I got. Next up is a vintage Christmas ornament. This was a little cloth fabric goose with a hat and a little shawl around it. It had little googly eyes on it. Very vintage, but very cute. It sold for $6. Buyer paid $4.70 shipping and handling. And that little item was free. That was from my cousin. Next up is a 2002. It was a Hallmark Christmas ornament. It was Gardener's, it's a little gardening bench type, or shelf, I think. It sold for $5.50. Buyer paid $5.25 in shipping and handling, and I was $1 into that from an auction lot. Next up is another Memories of Yesterday figurine from Enesco. This was from 1992. It was called Having a Wash Day. This was so cute. It was a little guy. He's in the wash tub and he's scrubbing his little bum with the scrub brush, and it was so cute. This sold for $35, and buyer paid $14.75 in shipping and handling. and I was $1 into that from the auction. Next up is a Hallmark Christmas ornament. It was from 1998. It was called A Visit from Piglet. It was Winnie-the-Pooh. It's really cute. I think it was made like a little book. It sold for $5. Buyer paid $4.65 shipping and handling, and I got that for 50 cents. It was in a bag of ornaments that I bought. Next up is a vintage brass figurine. It was a family of geese. They were all lined up from tallest to shortest. I believe I got this at a little church thrift store that I go into sometimes. I paid up for it. You know, I say I paid up for it. I only give $3 for it, but that's usually more than what I would give for something like this. But it goes back into the community. They do wonderful work, so I don't mind supporting them whatsoever. But it sold for $12. Buyer paid $8.95 shipping and handling. We're almost through, guys. Okay. I had bought a flat of stuff from the auction, and it was a box of stuff. In the bottom of it was 2 ceramic light switch plates, and they were 2 different. They were both floral, but they had different colors in them, you know, 2 different styles. And it was something that I wasn't really expecting, so it was just, you know, it's not what I had bought it for. It was just, you know, those extra little goodies you get sometimes. So anyway, I listed them. The first one sold for $10. Buyer paid $9.45 shipping and handling. And I figured I probably had $1 into it from the auction. But that was the first one. The second one's coming up here. And then another Memories of Yesterday figurine from UNESCO. This one's from 1991. It was called You'll Always Be My Hero. It was adorable. Had the little boy had like a military outfit on. It really was cute. Sold for $20, and the buyer paid $11.75 shipping and handling, and I had $1 in that from the auction. Next up, this cracks me up. Is a resin St. Patrick's teddy bear figurine. Had a little wizard hat on, had clovers. Don't get me wrong, it was absolutely adorable. But I know for a fact that I've seen those in the Dollar Tree before. I know I have seen those in the Dollar Tree. But it came in with a bunch of stuff, so St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so I thought, you know, I'll list it. It sold for $8. Buyer paid $6 shipping and handling. So I probably had, you know, 50 cents or so into it. Okay, next up is the next switch plate, the light switch plate cover, ceramic. This one had floral design on it too, but I think it was kind of lavenders, purples. Sold for $12. Buyer paid $9.45 in shipping and handling. And again, I figure I had $1 into it. And is this the last thing I have? This is the last thing I've got. This one is another Special Friends figurine. It's from 1998. It was a first edition. This was so adorable. Again, these are just resin figurines. But this was one of a bunch of little kids sitting, and they all was eating watermelon, and it was so adorable. Anyway, it sold for $150, and buyer paid $41.55 in shipping. And I think, if I remember right, this is the one figurine that I had paid $10 for. The rest of them I had paid like $4 and $6 for. But if I remember right, this was, the watermelon one was the one that I paid $10 for. But I think that I still have 2, if not 3, of those to list. So tonight, there's an auction coming on here, and I usually, I know I've told you guys before, and I'm getting pretty long into this, but I know I've told you guys this before, but I've got my brother into eBaying now, and we have so much fun together, so much fun. This is like one of the best things that could have probably happened to him and to me, because I know I'm speaking for myself, but I'm a homebody, and I have a tendency to isolate myself. I have struggled for many years with depression, and you know, it used to bother me to have to say that, or have to tell somebody that I struggled with that. And you know what? I come to the conclusion of that, especially over the last 2 years, and everything that this country and the world has been through, that we need to open our minds more to the issues of mental health. And instead of burying our head in the sand, we need to learn as much as what we can about it, and address it, and realize it, and accept it. That the majority of Americans suffer from some kind of a mental illness. And, you know, I had one doctor that said, when I first said, you know, acknowledged that I was having an issue, and I did not want to get on medication. And he looked at me and he said, Lisa, if I told you today that you had high blood pressure, and that you needed to take, I needed to give you high blood pressure medication to get your blood pressure under control, he said, would you accept the prescription and have it filled and take it? I said, yeah. He said, what's the difference? And you know, it really got me thinking. Ellie's having a heyday with something. It really got me thinking. And I thought, you know, he's right. And so, you know, I've had, depression isn't something I don't think it's something that comes and goes. And I think it's something that you handle and you manage, you know, and it's under control. But there's been a lot of times in my, you know, since then, that I can feel it coming on. But now I know what the signs are. And I think, I've got to do something, because I can see myself going down this path, you know, if I don't. And especially the last couple of years, just the isolation part of us being, you know, we had all the quarantine and all this stuff. But as a nurse, and everything that I have seen and gone through in the last 2 years, has not been fair for anybody to have to see or go through. I was to a point where I was really self-isolating. I was still doing my eBay. I was still working full-time, you know, and everything. But I was doing a lot of self-isolation. But I got my brother, interested in this. We go all the time to the auction house and dig through stuff. When there's sales like tonight, as soon as the sale starts, I know that my phone's going to ring and it's going to be Danny. And we're going to talk the entire time that the auction goes on online. And we talk, we laugh and we giggle about bidding against people and all this other stuff, And it's just so much fun. And then when we go and get our goodies, well, then I usually go by his house and we go through everything and, oh, look at this. Oh, look at. So it's so much fun. But anyhow, today I spent a lot of my day with him. We went out and had lunch, and we went to the auction house and dug through some stuff, and tonight's auction night. So in about 40 minutes, the online auction's going to start, and yeah, I'll be on the phone with my brother. So, but anyway, I thank you guys for hanging around, listen to me yap and everything else. I love you guys, and please be kind to yourselves, especially in this day and age. We need to be a little kinder to ourselves, you know what? So I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And in a world that we can be absolutely anything that we want to these days, be kind. Be kind to each other. Okay? All right. This is Lisa with Letting My Heart Take the Lead. Signing out. Peace. Thanks, guys.